Well, I guess we are on. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of High Talks. I am João, and I'm accompanied by Natalie Nascimento. Our beautiful Natalie is here again for another High Talk. We are also joined by Patricia Diaz. She is here with us. She's a product designer, and she's here today with us to talk about accessibility. Am I right, Natalie and Patricia?
Yes, that's right. That's right. João, for your presentation.
Okay. So before we start, as I do always, let me just say to the ones at home that if you enjoy this type of content, please drop us a like. We would appreciate that. And if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, we have plenty of more content like this coming up for you. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. We are doing this iTalk, but we have many more iTalks to come till the end of this year. So yeah, and if you have any type of question you would like to ask Patricia or Natalie, please drop it on the comment section of this video. We will answer it as soon as we see the comment. So yeah, without further to add, Natalie, can you lead this on?
Yes. Thank you, João. So today, as you were saying, we are diving into the topic that affects everyone, even the ones that don't realize it, that is accessibility in digital products. So inclusive design isn't just about compliance, it's about creating experiences that work for all users, regardless of their abilities. And today we have Patricia Diaz with us, an experienced product designer, and she's also advocate for accessibility. And I believe your work focuses in making the digital world more human, more inclusive, and more ethical, for sure. And I know many people in our audience are curious about the professionals behind accessibility work. For me, accessibility became a strong focus when I started working on design systems and product design, and I realized how much impact early decisions can have on inclusivity. So, Patricia, for those at home who don't know you yet, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how and what brought you into the world of accessibility?
Of course. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, first of all, for the invite. I'm really happy and glad to be here talking about accessibility. It's such an important topic
Mhm.
that fortunately we can discuss more and more about it
Yes.
nowadays. So, yeah, my name is Patricia Diaz. I'm a product designer. I've been focusing on accessibility over the last years. My main project in accessibility was actually also a design system. I'm now responsible for the accessibility of a big design system, I can say. And since I remember, I have this motivation of making the use of my job to have a social impact somehow. And when I start learning about accessibility, I discovered that this could be the way, because it's not that easy when you are in an agency or anything or such a big company to have this social impact in every work that you do. But this is one way of doing it, and so I found it so much important to bring the accessibility into the projects. And yeah, and so now it's my big passion, and that's what I've been doing.
It's
uh,
becoming a whole world sometimes, right?
yes, yeah, it's a big world. I'm also responsible to creating I started a community in started in Porto, but now it's all over Portugal. Fortunately, to bring some people and talk about accessibility. It's called Accessibility Talks, and it's having some impact and discussion, especially on LinkedIn. And people are really eager to talk more about accessibility. I'm really happy about that.
That's very good, and we will for sure share that link on the information of this talk as well. Thanks for that. Uh, for my side, something that I learned even if you don't have a formal background accessibility, you can start by exploring in your daily design or in your development choices how it affects real users. A simple exercise is to test your own product with just a keyboard. You immediately will find and will perceive the experience and little things that you can adjust to make the experience more inclusive, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and in my experience working with teams, I often notice that accessibility gets pushed to the end of the projects, and almost like a checklist item.
Hmm.
But then it's already harder to and more expensive to fix it. And I believe it that awareness is growing, but it's still not fully embedded in our process in our daily projects. So, Patricia, why do you think accessibility is still seen as after work in many digital products? And if you noticed lately a little shift in this awareness and how we can improve this.
Yeah, I think it's mostly lack of knowledge, I would say. There's a common misconception that you said that it's the accessibility is expensive and takes a lot of time. There's a lot of studies that proves that this is not
The other way
true.
around.
And so yeah, we don't need to talk about this misconception because it's out of the way. But I think in Portugal, especially, digital accessibility came really late. There are a lot of countries already doing that for a lot of years, and especially in the United States, it's a big topic, and already with some lawsuits and everything. So people get scared about it and they work on it. And here we just started talking about it when the European Accessibility Act came.
Yes.
Because it was so scary and whoa, are we going to do now? And that's actually a good thing, because now people start talking more about accessibility. I see teams that are forming themselves in accessibility. People are taking some courses, reading information, following other people, and things start to happen. And that's really good. I mean, it's not the best motivation because it's the law,
But
but
it starts
if it works, yeah, it's good already. So yeah, I noticed that things are changing. I don't think it's still the best scenario in Portugal. I still see some people that were so eager to make or have an accessibility expert in the team because the Accessibility Act, and now they dropped everything and okay, but let's focus on AI or something. So so that's not really great. And because I see accessibility as part of the quality of the project. It's not something extra as it was before, but it's something that brings the product some quality. It shouldn't be like a checklist, as you said. So yeah, basically, I think people are starting to be more aware of that.
Yes,
Fortunately,
I agree what you said about quality. One thing that we should help teams to reframe the problem, because it's not a problem about accessibility, is to look at as a quality concern. If you already check for performance and for security, why not to check since the beginning for accessibility as well? Adding accessibility checks into your regularly quality assurance or design reviews, make it part of natural workflow instead of, as you said, looking at it as an extra work.
yeah,
Uh,
especially as something that only an expert can do, because it's such a specific job that only one person can do. No,
yeah,
everyone has this
it's a
power,
responsibility
responsibility.
for everyone from the team, right? Developers, designers, product owners.
Exactly.
And well, moving a bit from theory to practice, when I work with the design and development teams, one of the biggest challenges is knowing how to bring accessibility into the process early. That what we were talking just right now, without overwhelming everyone in those teams. I found that even small steps like defining accessible color palettes in the design system can make a big difference. For your opinion, Patricia, what are some practical steps that teams can take early in the product's life cycle to ensure accessibility as part of the process and not just an add-on? And in that sequence, do you have any tools or methods that you recommend for designers and developers to add on those first steps?
Well, I think the main and important thing is to have empathy, and I really stand for the idea that if you have empathy, real empathy,
Mhm.
you will do most of the work without having to look to the WCAG criteria and all the documentation. So if you really, and we already know this for a lot of time, designers need to have empathy to make good design, and this is just one little step on all the process. So, and it's not actually a step, a thing that you can put in the middle of the process. It's something that it
Fantastic.
comes in the process. So So yeah, if you have empathy, it's already like a really big move to have the accessibility in your project. I wouldn't say there's much more than that. But if we want to talk about practical steps, as you said, making it part of the review process, making it part of the process since the beginning. Like if you have time, I hope, to do some research before designing, include that in the research, because if you are going to do personas, why don't you include a persona that is going through some difficulties, specific difficulties? And one, also another misconception that people have about accessibility is, of course, that accessibility is only for blind people. It's not only for blind people, and it's not only for disabled people. It's also for people like that I'm in the street and having the sun hitting my screen. I can't see the things. I can't read the things and see the difference of in the colors. So accessibility will also help me in this case and a lot of other people. Uh,
Yes,
so it's not just like, if we are changing colors, it's not just for the colorblind. It's for people that might have a screen problem. I don't know.
of everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure, we all had some problem. I remember to have this problem a lot in the beginning when we didn't have trackpads, so we had this mouse, and
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't work. So I figured out there that you can navigate through the keyboard back then, and these things still happen now. So it's not just for the people that have motor disabilities, or it's for everyone. So if we start doing some little things, practical things, so to include accessibility in the reviews, in the research part, and be aware of small things like one WCAG criteria is do not use color. How is it? Do not use color as the only way to
Meaningful
convey
to.
information, right?
Yeah.
So this is a basic thing. We all learn this in the beginning. We don't need to read the CAG criteria to know this. And it's a basic thing. So if we include that, and if we remind ourselves that during all the process, uh, it's good. It's good. It's already good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And you were talking about accessibility being just, well, or people thinking that accessibility is just for blind people or someone with a specific disability. And something that I see a lot in teams assuming that accessibility is only about screen readers or that it's purely a development issue, but it's so much broader, like all the examples that you talked about. And it starts with design decisions from your perspective. What are, well, you talk a little bit about most common mistakes or misunderstandings teams make when it comes to accessibility. Would you add something that you think it really a misunderstanding that it's not just about that?
Yeah, I already talked about this, but I just want to make more prominent that accessibility, it's not just WCAG. That's one. uh, Accessibility, it's way more than WCAG, because this is just specific topics that cover it.
Mhm.
It's not something, also it's not something that only an accessibility expert can do. And it's not that you need to have the product 100% accessible now or tomorrow. It's already good enough if you do something in the beginning. So because people get afraid, like, oh, I don't know about accessibility, I cannot do that.
Yeah, they
Let's
get really overwhelmed about all the rules and all the guidelines, right?
I don't have time to read all of these, so maybe I don't want to do it. But you can do it. It starts with, like, if you are a good designer, you probably heard about the heuristics, usability heuristics, and that is almost half of the WCAG criteria.
Part work.
So it's not that difficult, and it's not something that only one expert can do. Everyone can do that, and it's really easy. It's not that difficult. Of course, if you read everything, you will have more knowledge, of course, but it doesn't need to be for tomorrow. Okay, and catching the thought that I had before about accessibility being part of the quality of the project. A project, it's a project because it evolves, it gets better over time, and
Yeah, it's something
accessibility
that
is
you don't do just one time. You
exactly.
do it frequently, recurringly during the whole project, the whole development, the whole life cycle of whatever you are
Yeah, for sure.
developing, right? Yeah, yeah.
And of course, it's not only the responsibility of the developers, it's not also the responsibility of the designer and the developer. It's part of the whole team. So the managers also should be aware and should include that in the time box that the project has. It should be easy if all the team knows about the importance of the accessibility, so it can discuss with the stakeholders that mostly just look to money and time and don't want to waste with blind people, because blind people are not our users, right? So why should we waste time? But it's more than that, and if the whole team has empathy enough, and really, I think empathy is like contagious. If one person is aware of that and tries to bring it to the team, the whole team will be aware of that, and we'll try to work together with that. And if everyone works together, it's less time, it's less work, and the product will be a little better in the end.
Yes, taking the example that you were talking about, well, people most of the time think, okay, I am doing the design part. I look for all the contrasts, and now the rest of the things it's for the development. I don't need to check it out. But one thing that if you start to think of the ones that are going to use it, if you just simulate it in the screen reader, or for example, if in your designs you take the time to add accessibility annotations, like for example, this icon should have this text or this image should have this description on the alt option. Sometimes we have people say, I have my alt option, but then the description doesn't make any sense, or it's something so literal that doesn't add any meaning or any value to the user. So those little things will help usually the ones that are going to use it, and it's a little simple habit that we can add in our work.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, well, the responsibility, the team. So talking a little bit about the collaboration and the culture. As a design lead, I know that building a culture around accessibility isn't just about technical knowledge, like you were saying about the guidelines of WCIG or about the rules that you need to follow. It's about shifting mindsets. It's about empathy, like you said. It's about collaboration, and leadership all play a role. How can a design leader, in your point of view, help build the culture of accessibility within their teams and organizations? And what role do you think? Well, you talk a lot of a lot of that that empathy part that could play a big roles in our teams. Do you want to add anything?
I already. I think the empathy is the main thing, but the leaders have, because they are leaders, they need to have bring the example. So they should practice to tell the others that how they should practice also. So again, if it's an empathic leader, if it starts with if they have some course, or if they have interested in accessibility, they will already talk about that.
Right.
And sorry.
I was saying they will influence the others, right?
Right, that's it. So I think it's as simple as that. I have nothing more to add. It's just bring the example and people will follow, because if it's part of the process, everyone will follow, and it's
Yeah.
not that difficult. Practical steps is it's again to have to bring accessibility reviews into the review, for example, and encourage training. Talk to managers. I don't know, but there are a lot of courses now. There are a lot of information. So just make a talk. The accessibility talks this little community that I created started like this, because I had no one to talk about accessibility when I started, and I was like, how can not? There's nothing happening, so I'm going to bring together some people and talk about accessibility, and let's see. And we learned a lot, and we talked about processes, we talked about specific things, technical things, and that's how it starts. So leaders need to do that in their teams also.
Yeah, I was thinking about you were saying about the guidelines, about the documentation. Nobody wants to read it that at all. So maybe one approach to bring the team to the lights of accessibility could be, instead of share documentation or go to read these or go to learning these, could be interesting to make sessions with the teams where, like usability tests, where everyone can use and see the impact of using a screen reader of the product that they are creating. This would have a big impact to see right on the moment what is happening when someone needs to use it in that way. It could generate a lot of other actions in other teams. Could be something to do it.
That's actually one of the things that moved me to work so much in accessibility right now, was to see the 2023 AIMA accessibility journeys. There was Norberto. It's a blind man that came to the stage.
Audience, okay.
Just sorry, just use the screen reader in some sites.
So in real time, what happened, right?
Yeah, so accessibility is not just about colors and contrasts, it's also this. And wow, how there's so much difficulties using a screen reader. Accessibility is not just a screen reader, but it's also a big part. And I think I can say that it's one of the worst. The
Experience in general, right? Because
Yeah,
people
yes.
don't check for that.
And there's a statistic saying, like, if you work on, if you focus on the blind and low vision issues on your product, you will have like 80% of the product accessible.
Yeah.
So it's mostly it's not the screen readers, but also the colors, everything about visual. It's already like almost 100%.
Order, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And yes, yeah, that's it. I can keep talking.
No, that's good. It's good that it's a topic that excites us. So it's
Yeah.
important. Something that I often hear from teams is, I want to start, but accessibility feels really overwhelming. That we were talking at the beginning. Where do we begin? In my view, the first step is simply building awareness, taking small and consistent actions. Patricia, if someone listening today wants to start making their digital products more accessible, what's the first step you recommend? And of course, if you have any resources, I know that you are teaching people to start with accessibility? What advice do you have for everyone that are listening to us?
Okay, so if you are listening to us, it's already the first step. Good job. The
Yes.
second step is that you're going to open YouTube, or you're already on YouTube probably, but you search for user screen reader usage. I don't know, how does a screen reader is used, and that's really simple. You will take like less than 5 minutes, and I think your empathy levels are going up
Yes.
to the roof. Okay, so and third step is just read some of the WCAG criteria. If you are really not sure that you are the right person to do the job, like if you read at least the A levels, you will see that you are capable of doing that. So it's easy. It's not that big of a problem and not that difficult. And yes, as you said, just start somewhere, because as I said also, you don't have to have a 100% accessible product tomorrow. You have time, and you have like the product lifetime to make it better. So start by somewhere. I can say like I think my mental checklist to easily analyze a website or something is the keyboard test. You can just use the tab key, the space, and enter the arrows probably, and
Yes.
shift tab to make it go back. If it works, good job. It's already something. Check the colors, and I use Stark plugin on Figma, and you can check the contrast. It's mostly everything needs to have a contrast of 3 to 1. Some texts need to have a contrast of 4.5 to 1. So like it's just two things to add to this. It's really easy. It's really simple. It's not that difficult. Then you need to check the language, if it's readable, if it's legible. Uh, so if you are easy to read it. If you don't have anything like buttons saying read more or more, what is
Yes.
more? Like,
Something that if I am not seeing doesn't have any meaning at all, maybe we should change it to a clear or plain English, plain Portuguese, easy to understand.
yeah, and try to put yourself in the shoes of different people. Like if you it's not it's difficult because it's so much easier if you think like if you don't have an arm, how do you use something? But it's not that you need to cut your arm to think about it. If you have a child in your hand, or if you are working with a lot of bags, like you need to have everything reachable
You
in
are
just one.
breastfeeding, you need to use just one hand to.
Exactly. Or you're cooking, or I don't know,
Yeah.
a lot of things, or you're with two devices in two hands. So that's also a use case. uh, some use cases that I show in my work is like if you are in a factory, there's a
Mhm.
lot of noise. So it's not that you need to be deaf to
Right.
put yourself in the shoes.
Gloves. Sometimes in factories, people need to use gloves, and
Also,
it's really
yeah.
hard to.
Or you are seeing a screen like, I don't know, 2 miles from you, and you can't read it. So it needs to be something that people are aware, right, about all these use cases. So
Yeah.
again, it's empathy. Like just put yourself in the shoes of people, and it will be easy. And
Yes.
just to finish, I have some notes here in the sources that I'm just talking a lot. Uh, but if you are into design systems, there are a lot, and you can look for it in like accessible design system, and there's a long list probably now. But there's one design system that I really like, and it doesn't show really in the beginning of the search
Mhm.
results. It's the Pinterest design system. It's
Okay.
really good. It's called Gestalt, and they have a lot of information. Also, if you are looking to some information, some basics on accessibility to start, you have the accessibility casts series. from Rob Dodson. They are from Chrome, and it's really good knowledge to have. It's really easy, like really small videos of 3 minutes each or less even. And they also teach how to use screen readers, the most used ones. And of course, I need to say follow accessibility talks on my LinkedIn. I'm actually planning some new events and talks, so it's going to be interesting. And I also have a course. Uh, I also have a course now that I teach practical accessibility into the teams, into the product teams, and how to include that in Scrum. So if you are interested, I hope I can send the link. You can see the link, and probably we'll have more editions coming.
That's good. That's good. Thanks for sharing all of that. We will for sure add those links on our information in this talk as well for people to go and look for that. Well, I just want to share one more thing that would be really helpful if you want to start is those little steps that we talk during our conversation, the experience that Patricia shares as well. It's really easy as well to following someone that talks an expert about that talks about accessibility on LinkedIn, because they share real examples and tips that you can apply immediately. I used to see a lot of content from Stephanie Walter. She shares a lot of information, little practical things that you can start to applying on your project as well. Besides Patricia, that shares a lot of information. So, well,
Yep.
I think that
a good profile to follow. Yes.
yeah. So. Thanks so much, Patricia, for your time, for joining us, for sharing all of your experience and passion for accessible design. And well, for those who are listening, remember, accessibility isn't just a checklist, it's a mindset. So let's make digital products better for everyone and change the mindset of our team. So influence everyone in our teams that will influence others so that you can have accessibility everywhere.
Yeah. Start
Okay, and thanks to the both of you for this amazing talk. Yeah, before I start with some more questions, just a couple more. I'm not here to take everyone's time. So, everything that Patricia talked about, the course that she's having, the links that she talked about, they will all be on the description of this video. You can check that if you go to our description, and you can see it there. So yeah, and without further to add, I will go to the questions. But let me ask, if you stood by until now, please drop us a like if you haven't done it already, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm doing this as I do always, so sorry for being annoying. So and yeah, let's go with the questions. I have just a couple of questions that our community brought to us. Patricia,
you have questions for us, okay?
yeah. I have a couple questions for the both of you. I will not end this right now. And for the ones at home that are watching this, if you have any type of question, please drop it on the comment section of this video. And me, Natalie, or even Patricia, when we see it, we will answer it straight away. So, yeah, Patricia and Natalie, look, let's imagine this. I am a junior designer. Where should I start learning about accessibility? What should be the first steps? I would say.
Well, I can start. Well, that's a great question. I think we during this conversation we give a lot of hints and a lot of resources about that. But I would say that you can start by focusing on the basics that apply to the most of the projects, like color contrast, text size, and ensure that the content is understandable, it's meaningful. Well, we have a lot of tools like the WCAG that that quick reference or Figma plugins like Stark are great entry points when you are designing your products. And well, remember, accessibility isn't just a theory. You can practicing in your own projects would be the best way to learn. Like it's a step by step, as Patricia was saying, is something that you can add during all of your projects, and start to learning bit by bit, and start to the easy parts and go evolving from there.
I will also say that if you don't know how to start, there's a great tool. I think I can say this. It's not a taboo. It's called ChatGPT or Gemini or anything that you can use and ask questions, and it will tell you. And it's already a great start. Like if you don't have anyone to talk, and if you are the first one in your team to bring accessibility, just use ChatGPT just to make it easier. And yeah, that's it.
To help you start, and then you can confirm all the information. Yeah, that's a very good tip.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Didn't know about that, but yeah, I'm glad that I know now. So yeah, I have just one more question before we end this live, and it's like it's talking to the teams. So, what is your advice for building an accessibility first culture in startups or in small teams, like in a small environment? What should be the your advice to
Go, Patricia.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in the teams, it's the first thing. Again, I will say this everywhere because it's really important to have empathy in your teams. If you bring it to the team will be contagious about it, and everyone will work to the same goal. Also, you sorry, I lost myself here a little bit. I had something. uh, but you can go, Natalie. I will remember that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, well, you were saying about the culture spread, the interest for accessibility. Well, in small companies, I think in small teams, it's an easier task because you have less people to influence. You can start by yourself, and every time that you are in a meeting, every time that you have the opportunity to add the topic, to show an example, to uh, experiment with your colleagues the product with the screen reader. So if you start bit by bit, adding every time that you have an opportunity, it will start to get into the DNA of the team, and everyone will start to remember, oh, but I need to have this concern, I need to check for the contrast, I need to check for the order, the structure of my HTML, if it makes sense for machine, if have the correct order that I want users to go to the experience. So you can start by that, influencing everyone.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I was going to say something important and I forgot, but I remembered. Uh, is that
Good.
if you are in a team that hasn't still this culture and this accessibility in the process, it's really important to have numbers and to work with numbers, and show progress and show your work. So if you are a designer, a junior designer in your team, and you want to bring accessibility, and you just check the contrast in the colors using Stark, it's just a small task within everything that we need to be aware. But make a presentation in your team and say, like, I read about this somewhere, I know accessibility is important, and I did this. What do you think? Now we are more accessible. Bring some numbers, bring like statistics and stuff, like, and you can use ChatGPT for that. You don't need much time
with that as well. Yeah, right.
yeah, and that will be so much easier to convince people that are still not convinced yet. Why should they waste time on accessibility? If you bring numbers, they don't have how to deny it, you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very good tip as well.
For sure, and that was some good insights by the both of you. I want
Even you, João, are able to do accessibility as well.
yeah, even me now. I I feel like
Next I talk, you will be talking about that topic.
yeah. Next I talk, stay tuned. I will be here talking about accessibility with all the things that I learned here today. So I'm sure I can do it. So yeah, let's see. So thanks, Patricia, and thanks, Natalie. We will end this now. Um, if you and let me just remind the ones at home that if you want to check everything that was said over here with Patricia and Natalie, please check the description of this video. We'll have all the links, and tell us what you thought about this talk in the comment section of this video. Like let us know your experience on this.
Yes.
And yeah, with that said, thanks to the ones at home that stood by till the end, and thanks to the both of you, Patricia and Natalie. It was amazing. And yeah, before we end, as we do always, let's just get a thumbnail photo. So I will point my finger over here. I don't know if everyone can see it. Oh, okay, and there it is. Okay, thanks everyone. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.